Which one of these guys is you guys? They all look like they're going crazy. I mean, look at all these guys. They must be thinking about mortgages. I mean, that's what I look like when I'm thinking about mortgages, except for this lovely young lady pulling her hair out because I ain't got none. So, anyways, that's our lead into our conversation today about mortgages. So, welcome. Let's talk. Hey there. I want to talk to you guys about mortgages today and the interest rates because it seems to be top of the mind for everybody because they just raised the interest rates again, and who knows what they're going to do? They could raise them again. I don't know. Nobody. We're just speculating. I just want to be real with you guys. So my mortgage is coming for renewal in a few months, and I'm like everybody. I start to panic a little bit about like how much is my mortgage going to go up? Is it going to go, you know, is it going to go up a couple $100 or is it going to go up $1,000? I mean, that makes a big difference in today's society. What did I do? So I go online, just like any normal human being would do, just like you. So the first place we start is I went to realtor.ca, which because I'm a realtor, why wouldn't I go to realtor.ca? It makes sense, doesn't it? I mean, use the tools I pay for. So if I base everything, I'm going to base our conversation today off of $500,000, whether it's purchasing a new home or whether you're renewing an existing mortgage, we're going to base it off 500,000. Okay. So Realtor.ca is like an amazing tool. It's one of the best tools out there. You could also go to when I just Google mortgage calculators, Royal Bank comes up. So based off $500,000, their payments. I just did two options because I wanted to kind of compare. So I kind of did one at 4.5 because I did find one, and I'm going to talk to you in a minute about a 4.5% mortgage, or when I first click in, it automatically comes up at 5.69. So there is a bit of a difference, you see. So right here, you can see if it's at the 5.69, it's $3,100, and if it's at 4.5, which is it's just just a little bit more than 1% decrease. So you're saving about $400, not quite. It's $2,700. So you can also TD mortgage, same thing. The funny thing is when you punch in the numbers at 500,000 and put in the 25-year amortization at a fixed year rate. I'm basing this off fixed 5-year rate. So that's what we're working off today. Not variable, not 1 year, 2 year, 3 year, because they're all different. So it seems to be the less years in your term, the higher the interest rate. Also, if it's a variable, right now it's higher than it would be if it was a fixed rate, that's the other thing you want to have a conversation with your mortgage person is whether you should go fixed or variable. Right now, I'm going fixed because I don't know what the banks are going to do. They seem to be talking about going up, not down. And if they don't go up, maybe they'll at least stay stable, which would be great for all of us if it would stay stable, because in reality, because this is where I want to bring all you back to earth here, because in reality, the 20-year average is between 5 and 7%. And I'm going to show you a really cool tool in a few minutes where you can see what the average rates were over the last, I found 16 years. So I'm going to show you that in a few minutes. But you could also too, this is called True North Mortgages. This was the best online rate I could find yet, which was 4.49 for 5 years. I'm not in here to promote any bank or mortgage institution or anything like that. So I just want to say what I found when I did a search. And the other thing is interesting is if you just go into your search tab there and type in mortgage calculator, you'll find a bunch right off the top. You'll find like TD and this True North Mortgages and a bunch of other mortgage companies. Go back out and type it in again, and you'll come up with different ones. So that's a whole different conversation of how that happens. But anyways, yeah, you'll come up with different stuff. At least I did. Maybe you won't. I did though. So there's another one. Like that was the best rate I could find. Better than TD, better than Royal Bank. And here's the Meridian Credit Union. And when you go to there, the rate when you first come in is 5.54. So there is a bit of a difference. So those are some of the places. But I want to go back to Realtor.ca because that seems to be the best tool I could find. Now, you're going to go and speak to a mortgage broker, and you can apply online. You can even renew your mortgage right online. I'm starting to get renewal notices from my mortgage company right now, and it's not due for at least what are we, like 3 months, 4 months out yet, and I'm already getting notices to renew online. So that's an option, but I want to see what the rates are because I don't, as everybody, nobody wants to get ripped off. I don't want to be paying 6.5% if I can get a 4.49 from somewhere like this True North Mortgages. That's awesome. So here, this is really neat. So you can either go to a purchase on for realtor.ca, which gives you this information. So what I did is I just typed in the variable. So, say this was with a purchase. So if I did a $500,000 purchase and I did a 2.5%, like right here, if you can see the little finger or yeah, there's the finger there. So anyways, I did a 2.5%, which would have been a pretty good rate, 2 years ago, in the height of pandemic. So you would have paid $2,200 a month for that mortgage 2 years ago when you got it for 2.5%. But as your mortgage comes renewed, like right now, the bank rate, what I found when I would think it was TD said what the bank rate was 5.25% right now, which would jump that $700 for the exact same amount of money. So that goes to $2,900. So then if you wanted to go to a 5.9%, that jumps up to $3,100. And then if you're at a 6.5%, which isn't, we're still within our range of a 20-year average at 6.5%, that's $3,300. That's $1,100 more. But let's come back to reality here at the bank rate of 5.25%. So if somebody like True North Mortgages can give it to you for 4.5%, that's actually not bad. I know it's $700 more, but at least it's not $1,100 more. So, in reality, it's not bad. And interest rates affect absolutely everybody. I don't care who you are. If you want to buy a home, if you have to refinance, interest rates affect you. And if you rent, interest rates affect you because the landlord has to be able to cover his expenses when the interest rates goes up because he's not going to pay you to live in his house or her house, whoever. When I say him and her, I'm just mean everybody in general. So anyways, don't get upset about that. Because I know a lot of women that own houses too. So what's really neat is if you go to this realtor.ca tool, then instead of going purchase, click renewal and finance. So you don't have to put the down payment down, right? So you're not whacking off the 5% that you have to put down. Plus then you have your land transfer tax and other mortgage insurance fees and all that kind of stuff. So that saves you a bit when you go to refinance. So when you do the refi, so at 2.5%, if you could have refinanced at 2.5%, you'd be $2,200, but you're not going to get a 2.5% anymore. You're more likely going to be in that 5 to 6%. So even at 5.25 bank rate, that's $2,900 again at $700. It's not the end of the world, but listen, if you do go to a mortgage company or bank or whatever, when they work all of the numbers out, you're probably going to be a little better than that. Just use these tools online. That's all they are, tools. They're just guidelines. Don't use them as gospel. These are not written in stone. So make sure you speak to a mortgage broker, your bank, whatever, whoever. Just make sure you do that because this is just a tool. It's just a guide. So, but what I do like is if you go down here, and go to go button, you do the refinance, and then we go here to amortization schedule, and then where are we? We wanted to go to just 1 second here. Okay, so here it is, and it is so right at the bottom. Right at the bottom of that link I clicked on realtor.ca up here. So when it says here refinance or renewal, scroll right to the bottom and you'll see. So a selected rate, so like 2 years ago, you would have been 2.5%. But then your 5-year fixed rate in 2000 to 2010 was 3.89. And your interest rate between 1990 and 2000 was 7.23. And then in the 80s and 90 up to 1990 was almost 12%. So that's huge. Like, look at the difference in payment. So if you were paying 2.5%, a couple years ago, or even now, if you're still lucky enough to be in that rate, you'd be paying $2,200. But then if you were at 12%, people back then in the 1980s would have been paying $4,500. That's double. So that's still within your 20-year average. But if you look here at this graph here, so we're right here, and we're at that we're sort of at that 4.69%. We're still below, well below what they were paying back in the 1980s and 90s. So in reality, bringing us all back down to earth and bringing us into perspective, we are still okay. I mean, yes, it sucks that we have to pay more interest, but at the same time, it was an anomaly. What happened in 2020, 21 was just out of this world. Like getting an interest rate for 2%, it's almost like giving money away. So anyways, I just wanted to bring that up to you guys, just to kind of show you not to panic too much. Yes, it does affect our bottom line, how much we're spending each month. But at the same time, if you were, say, for example, if you're renting that same house, if you're paying, say, even up to, if your interest rate goes to 7%, $3,200, you're likely going to pay more than $3,200 for rent in that house. And it's not yours. But so look at it that way. And so anyways, that's just my take on it. So don't panic. I'm not going to panic until it hits 12%. Actually, I'll probably panic before that, but I have to, I'm just a normal, average, everyday human being, just like you guys. And I got to pay my mortgage too. And it's coming due in the next couple of months. So I'm just starting my homework now. So anyways, there you go. There you have it. Any questions, give me a call. Make sure you go online, check it out, and make sure you check out this tool, Realtor.ca. It's a great tool. Like most people know Realtor.ca. It's formerly called MLS.ca. And also to a lot of us real estate brokers, we have mortgage calculators right on our websites. So, but this is a great tool. Make sure you use it. Check it out. But again, it's just a tool. It's just a tool, just a guideline. Make sure you go to the banks afterwards and compare different ones. Talk to a couple different banks and find out how that will affect your credit score too. When if they pull your credit score and start pulling numbers, so just be careful of that. So, anyways, feel free to comment on this. I'd love to hear from you guys. And what would I be if I didn't put a plug in for myself? Because I am a realtor. I do buy and sell properties and will help you buy and sell properties. So if you've got any questions about buying and selling properties, by all means, give me a shout. Glad to help you. It still is a good time to sell, and it is a good time to buy. Prices have come down. Our next conversation will be about the difference you would pay if you were to, say, 2 years ago buy a house. You paid $200,000 or $300,000 more then than you would now versus the interest rates. We'll get into that in our next conversation. So be sure to check me back out here, and make sure you subscribe and like this channel. And I look forward to hearing from you guys. Anyways, take care. It's Joseph Talbot, real estate broker in the beautiful Southern Georgian Bay area in Ontario. Thanks again. And all my contact information is down there. Check it out. Thanks. Have yourself a great day. Bye for now.